Good evening, everyone. So, can you know my voice is audible? Someone can help me in the chat box. Can I know my voice is audible? Clear? Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome you all for this research training program. So, I am Daniel, currently working as a senior lecturer in University Saints, Malaysia. In Malaysia, it's in Penang province. Okay. So, I'm a researcher from civil engineering discipline and a lot of interdisciplinary research I have worked like along with certain engineering disciplines like mechanical, electrical, and several disciplines like nanoscience, little bit of chemistry, right? So before coming to Malaysia, I worked in Chennai and my postdoc Chennai in Hindustan University. And prior joining Hindustan, I worked in IIT Delhi as a postdoctoral researcher. Then my PhD from Karunya University, Coimbatore. Okay, it's a short intro about me. So welcome you all once again on behalf of MSME as well as on behalf of me. And I'd like to thank the officials from MSME. Hopefully, I think now we are around fifth year, nearly fifth year. This program is going on. I think around more than 5,000 plus researchers uh, were being trained through this program, and now we are in a like reaping a lot of outcomes. Frequently, some research students they send their literature review article and say that like through your like simple methods we have written a research article. Once I went to Nagpur, so there a faculty showed a literature review article. So that's how it's going on. Hopefully, this 1 month you will be also learning and some. One second, please. Just check. So I think now, can you know my voice is clear? Now it's better than earlier. Okay. So with hopefully you have seen somewhere around 2022 topics, right? But in real time, you will be learning many number of topics. Not only that, you will be learning many number, lot of topics. Okay. I think around somewhere around 40 plus topics you will be learning. All are related to research only. This program mostly will be helpful for research students. Most of the professors who are aligned with this kind of program is like 20 years back, maybe they are not used to much research tools, whatever currently available. But obviously, they also need to upgrade the latest research skills, right, to train their research students and all. So that's how mostly there will be some participants from industry too, because in industries nowadays, many industries they have an R&D unit. So that's how mostly the diverse participant list will be. So hopefully all the topics whatever we are covering will be helpful. Okay. So before going to the session, okay, just to hear some response from you all, why research is very important. See, because of research only I am here currently in the institute where I'm working is the QS ranking is somewhere around 134. It's like 50 rank higher than IIT Madras. Okay. Uh, there are several reasons. There are several reasons how I got these kind of positions. The first foremost is during my PhD, I have published 26 research articles just in 3 years, three and a half years. Okay, the interest in research. Maybe I may be writing, doing and all, but the entire credit obviously goes to the supervisor. I had a supervisor. She trained me in research initially. So it is easy for me to make, at present, maybe I have around 50, 55 articles. So nearly 10 plus Q1 ACIE top journals. Uh, what I like to convey is when we, even I have certain students in my earlier institute. One student I have trained in the initial days in the masters. Okay, not only one, very like few numbers who choose as a project and all, same similar. One patent and two research article he is able to make during the 2 years. So I finally find something like a difference. If nobody is trained or if nobody is learned, obviously what we have to do, we will be watching multiple YouTube channels for each and every topics, and you'll be learning, right? That's how it goes on. Or sometimes you, some of your friends, they in your lab, research lab, they teach how to use these tools and all, right? So how research is very important. How, like, for example, yeah, I think start with Professor Tiwari, new insight development in the field, which helps research to make process better, improve better efficiency. Good. Why research is important? Others, others maybe. Okay. Others, I think you are taking, okay, for good results. Professor Samir, I think you are a scholar. See, in research there is. We should not much, as a researcher, we should not be much worried about good results or bad results. Even once I get a bad results, but still I published. But bad results in the sense it's not like, it's a fabrication. So normally every company manufacture in steel. So I made that same product in nylon, kind of lightweight product. Okay. So the results were moreover similar. But finally, at the end of the research, I came to know there is a small drawback. Maybe like, uh, in your word, maybe not a good results. The heat, temperature, the nylon material does not carry much heat. Certain issues were there. So initially, I was not thinking much, but still, based on the performance, and they mentioned in the article clearly, to certain temperature you can use this. After this temperature, you are not supposed to use this. Why? Because, like me, if I'm not publishing that maybe bad results or something, in future somebody will try the similar one, the same one which I have did again. And so if already we have communicated that to journals, so before somebody use the nylon material, when they explore our research article, they will come to know. Okay, research, good. Professor Vijay Raghavan. And skill development, yes, great. Develop new insights, add more knowledge. I have seen some of the top researchers from top institutes. The way they think is different. If you see some of the problems were shared to some of the top institute researchers in our country, the way they communicate the response is not the same like maybe ordinary persons, right? Because they convey everything in a scientific manner, at the same time in a, uh, they use their design thinking, critical thinking, all the intellectual way in a different method, right? So that differences I have seen, the the way they think is different. Okay, the session not only in English, not in Hindi. Okay, it's common because researchers from different parts. Okay, good. Research is systematic and organized. Investigation conducted to discover new knowledge, verify existing. Good, good. Inventing new things which will be fruitful. Okay, okay, good, good. So good. Thank you all for your response. Okay. See, in research, simple meaning, if you are a PhD student, you are there in your institute to learn how to do research. Learn how to do research. If you ask me whether they are doing 100% perfectly research, no. They fail, they do research, they fail, they do research. Lot of problems. If you ask the research scholars, they will purchase the material, do the research work. Suddenly, they need an additional same material, but that company may not be there. They will have all their data in a drive, but suddenly that will be corrupted. So lot of ups and down, and finally they will completing their objectives. Right. So research is something always you will not have a very smooth process. Okay. So you will have a lot of ups and down, and finally you will be developing something which will be helpful to the society. Some researchers help to the society immediately. For example, COVID came. There is a I think AstraZeneca, a COVID vaccine was developed by a researcher from UK or some other country. They are researchers, which mean uh, they immediately take the problem and they try to solve, and that helped huge number of people, right? Huge number of people. So many researchers, if you see, but some research work, the problem is not solved. For example, if you take Delhi pollutions, right? Then maybe similar other issues. So many things. If you ask researchers from social science and certain discipline researchers, they have a lot of problem statements, right? So sometimes in a 3 year or certain time, you'll be not able to complete the research, but you create new knowledge by doing a new test, new study, new development. So you add a knowledge to that. That may not more helpful directly to the society sometimes, but it can help to the other researchers in future. For example, recently in Tamil Nadu, in India, uh, they are not supposed to use the river sand. So the government comes to know, like made a the notification that everybody must use M sand, manufactured sand. nearly 15 or 13 years back, researchers from IIT Madras did a lot of research on this manufactured sand. I think so 15 years back. That time they have not thought that's going to helpful in future, but they think to that the future because of the natural resource how it is getting spoiled. They think and they did a lot of research work, and suddenly when there is a notification that nobody supposed to use the river sand, immediately the alternative one started, right? So you need to understand one thing clearly. Sometimes your research work, because many you have said adding knowledge, a lot of things you have said, right? May not skill development immediately. Maybe you can develop, but the transferring of your ideas, technologies may not happen very fast immediately, but it will happen one day or the other day. Okay, but during your life tenure, maybe hardly 30 years, okay, 35 years, we have time. Maybe within this time, whatever research work you did, that can helpful to the society. Sometimes you cannot see that. I know one professor from, he did his PhD from IIT Roorkee. Currently, he's in NIT Raipur. He did a project, and that project kept in, I think in Bhuj. Bhuj is a place in Gujarat, in a government hospital. I think it is placed, and that's the happiest moment of that research student, which means he did a research work, he developed, he scaled down the product as a big large scale, and a company purchased that and they have used in a building. And whenever he see that his research work is not wasted, because if you see daily lakhs and crores of publications are coming in, nearly 65,000, like around a lakh of journals, right? Crores of more number of research articles are coming in. But if you see the real time, the 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 societal needs, that's very less. So sometimes it may not, but in future it will be okay. I'm just giving a little bit of basic introduction about this research, then we'll go to the topic. Okay. So research must improve the quality of life. See, I'm in Malaysia. There is a even how we have Amazon, Flipkart in India. Here also there are certain local mobile applications, right, for shopping. If I see some of the products belongs to maybe China or Taiwan, Vietnam, nearby countries, products can be listed in a mobile applications. Some of the products, if you see, some of the products were like great. Even when I see those options and all, the thing is that products improve the quality of life. You are developing something, you're developing a product for some societal needs, whether the quality of the life is getting increased or not. Why people are moving to many other, if you see countries, several countries, people will be moving and all. Why? Because one reason is even some people they prefer the cities, the quality of life. Then this research helps you to think in a different way, like the critical thinking. Okay, so obviously you will face a lot of problems. So to tackle those problems, you will think and you have to go ahead. Then any discipline, you may be from any discipline, but try to finally we will be solving some problems. Some researchers they may not solve, they create a policy and they create a suggestions and submit to certain government agencies to take necessary decisions. One participant similarly in a earlier sessions, and she said related to tourism industry, she did a research work. Her report, everything is good, everything is fine. Then I said, Have you at least met any tourism officers and gave your thesis one copy to implement those ideas?" Then she said, "No." Right. So why I'm telling this information is we do research, we publish, complete, get the degree, but somehow it should be helpful, right? Maybe to the uh, government agencies or some agencies it should be helpful. So later I suggested to meet the local government officials like the those who are directly connected with the people like MLA, MPs, or they can directly go to the secretariat, meet the tourism secretary, and give your thesis and give them a short presentations for 15 minutes. Maybe immediately it may not helpful, but at one point of time when they need certain source to generate revenue or some source if they need, you will be coming to their mind because you have the report, you did a research work on that. Okay, so these are all efforts has to be done by the researchers. Okay, so today the first day, normally we take a very light topic like the problem statement, problems around you, right? Different way researchers takes problems around us. Different methods are there. But most important thing as a researchers, my suggestion is, I went to institute in Coimbatore recently uh, and delivered certain tasks to some bachelors, some PhD students and all. One most important thing is try to find some problem because even in I worked in Chennai and other institute. So whenever the students come to select the guide, the first question normally I used to ask them is write the problem statement and come. Write the problem statement and come. Why I'm asking the students to write the problem statement first? Because they need to, because some bachelor's or master students, their time to doing the research work is very limited, 6 months or 1 year or maybe 1.5 years, right? So during this time, they must be very clear that what problem they are solving. Some problem may take 6 years, but they cannot solve in 6 months. So during that because a lot of limitations are there. So they need to know that during that limited time, what they can do, what problems they can solve, and find the problems around them and try to convert them as a meaningful research outcome. Okay. So problem obviously you all know it's a some kind of difficulty. One second. So it's a difficulty that needs to be overcome or solved. Two states are there, undesirable state and desired goal. What is undesirable state? Earlier days, you go to the some junctions, you pick an auto rickshaw and they will tell some money, so you have to accept that because the auto rickshaw will be in line. So first what the guy, if he left, then only the next guy will come. Whatever the price he's saying, you have to accept in case any emergency is there, no other options. So payment maybe issues will be there. So a lot of things. But now when you have mobile applications, the desired goal, which is transparent, estimated time, cashless, and the schedule, whoever is having this Ola, Uber, and other source, like flexible work schedule. Because during my travel from my home to airport, whoever maybe the driver, I used to discuss with them. Okay, it's okay. So these companies they have two-way rating system, emergency buttons. But if you see before these uh, Ola, Uber, and such apps were not developed, maybe the trip details we will be not able to get, proper bills we will be not able to get, the tracking details you will be not able to get, right? So earlier how it is and now how the problem is getting solved. Similarly, in terms of this problem, in terms of technology and engineering based, maybe some kind of fault, some bugs, some connectivity problems between your system and printers. So these are all we call as a problems. And in terms of mathematics or science based, okay, there we will call in a different way. Uh, Calculations, logical reasonings, some calculus problems, right? That's how we call that as a problem. And in social context, some people may be doing gambling and other activities. Because of that, their mental health, financial issues, health issues, right? So the 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 problem will be in a different context. It will be like different in the everyday conversations. Normally, uh, like something that may cause inconvenience or maybe you could have asked your friends that today will be like go early because of this traffic issue, traffic problem, right? So in a different context, okay, uh, we call the name of problem in a different time, okay, for different areas. So selecting problem is very important as a researchers. I know some researcher in during my postdoc time at IIT Delhi, they took a problem and they were not able to complete the certain minimal objective in sixth year, fifth year, sixth year, very difficult. Initially, obviously, everybody wants the research work very novel, very novel. Everything is fine. Okay. But you need to know the limitations. For example, I know still there are researchers, doing lot of research, lot of publication in air pollution in Delhi. But how much percentage of air pollution reduced because of this research? Selecting the problem is very important. Selecting the problem is very important. Okay. Next, most important thing is the time, the resource, the expertise. If you give a bachelor's students, you give a topic problem to study during their limited time, they can do certain task. But the resource, the resource in an affiliated institute and an IIT is not same. The expertise to guide will be also not similar because their exposure, their uh, will be different. Everybody's expertise is different. But obviously, everybody has the same motto that we need to solve a problem. So, for selecting a problem, you need to consider a lot of things. Some problems sufficiently solved and not fully. Sufficiently means certain to limit it is solved. And the approach, like you want to take a new like problem with new perspective and new method, new solutions you like to develop. Some researchers they'll be made very passionate about the problem because they may be undergoing. I have seen some companies, if you see, I think Voyo Rooms. I think Voyo Rooms started like he went to some place city for an interview and he not able to get some affordable home or something else. Later he developed that. So through the problem, they try to solve or develop. If you see some many companies, even if a Uber is there, Uber, Ola, and maybe many, if you even Swiggy, Zomato, Swiggy, they don't have any restaurant, but just a mobile applications they run in the entire system. Similarly, many companies they don't have they have a mobile application. That's all. I think some company recently I've seen only 30, 40 employees are there. It's a great global company. But these 30, 40 members are only managing the entire task, fully using automation, AI agent, call agents. That's how the works are going on. Right. So if you are very passionate about the problem, if you had that problem and you suffered, and for similar people, if you like to give solutions, then that works really well because your motivations, how you suffered, and then how, so that will be very important. Then what is the potential passive outcome when you try to solve a problem? What is the final outcome? That's also very important. One second. Okay. The ethical concern selecting the problem is very important. Sometimes you take a very sensitive problems. Maybe the country like uh, like some lot of sensitive things are happening, right? So try not to take such things. Okay, because even certain times we do certain research and the data is going for publication, all it is not easy. Okay, a lot of ethical concerns are there. Some of the aspects of problems are like how many factors involved in that problem, or like how many variables, and how many problems that affect different people in local or huge number of populations. If huge number of populations, the problem is people are getting affected, then obviously there's a good scope. Very small group, many researchers they don't try to pick that problems. Okay, then some problems low urgency, some problem high urgency. Okay, some problems you can see, right? Suddenly, a lot of political change comes, something else happen. So certain problems immediately they sit together, work very fast. Some problems may not be very fast. Slowly, 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 it will be done. Then the problem, obviously, it should be quantified or qualitatively accessed. Okay, and each and every problem will have a deep root cause why it's happened. That has to be analyzed first clearly. And how many attempts were done by various researchers to solve that problem till now? And how you think you can solve that nobody else tried for several number of years? And earlier, there are several researchers they have failed, right? Why they failed, how they failed, what's the failures, what is the limitations they kept finally. So everything has to be accessed clearly. So identifying the problem, different level you can the problem. The first from the personal experience. For example, difficult in recycling the construction waste in urban areas. In cities, suddenly a building constructed 150 years ago or 200 years ago, they want to demolish and construct a new one. Demolish and construct a new one. If the demolishing things are happening, maybe uh, obviously it's not an easy in urban areas, right? Then obviously certain cities has a huge traffic problems like Bengaluru, Chennai, and other locations. Then pollution, air pollution in Delhi, and sometimes many students struggle to manage the time between academics and extracurricular activities. And certain students will not be much involved in research projects, right? In a 20 class, 20 numbers classroom, certain number of students they may not listen properly. So a lot of examples, a lot of research problems are there, but you need to choose the appropriate one that directly helps to the society. So you can see they left the pollutions, right, and other issues. Literature review is very important as a researchers because through literatures you can find the gaps which is not answered by any researchers, which is not answered by any researchers, like unanswered, right, by the previous studies. How migrant labor shortages during COVID-19 because nobody can come out lockdown. So how later there a lot of shortages were there, right? Then evidence on the long-term effect of online learning during COVID because after COVID-19, a huge shift in the online learning, right? Even in urban, rural, any areas, right? Problem based on the theoretical framework. Problems will have a lot of limitations and contradictions. Some researchers, like social science, life science, certain discipline researchers, a lot of challenges are there. They will collect through survey and something else, they collect data, but finally they give certain outcomes that challenges to solve that problem. It's not a very easy task. Suddenly, one day changing is not a very easy task. And technological developments like emerging technologies that create new research opportunities like AI in health monitoring, lot of questions. Some of the problem has to be solved. So this is a website of Tamil Nadu government where the building plan applications were done in online. Okay. So earlier days everything is in uh, like hard copy you should provide, but later it's shifted in online. So as days goes on, the advancement in technology automatically will make you to move ahead. First thing. Okay. Then one more important thing is problem you need to decide. Some problems I have seen some institute, the research problem will be taken by the supervisor. Some institute, the research problem will be clearly given because it is already funded by some funding agencies, right? So that because these are all various reasons. Okay, For example, in Tamil Nadu, this is through policy level changes. You collect data, do a lot of research, outcome. Just publication, it is not over. Try to meet certain officials and try to share your details so that they'll come to know how your research works can helpful to them. And this is simple details. Finding and framing problems around you and why local. Local problems are often more feasible, right? And easy to collect, like application also high impact. So sometimes the problems around you, like obviously you could have also have similar problems, right? Poor road conditions, water supply management system, solid waste system issues. So day to day life we face a lot of like depletion of green cover, lack of public spaces, lot of problems will be facing. For example, during this is during Diwali time last year, and you can find the crackers fill the certain cities. And the because of Diwali, obviously many people they do a lot of firecrackers and other stuffs, and nearly 2,336 emergencies in only in Coimbatore cities. Micro industries in Coimbatore hits hard by drop in demand. So these are all the local. If you are from Coimbatore, you need to try to solve the problem which you have seen daily readings in newspapers, watching news. You see a lot of problems are coming in related to your discipline. Try to solve that. Then NGO and non-profit organizations they do a lot of activities. Many non-profit organizations. And if you go to their websites, you will get a lot of their projects, how they are handling with people. So everything you can able to the local people. And everybody explored. Maybe we are all from different place. Your place, the government official website, and what details they have provided, any minutes, any details, any budget. These are all the places where you check and collect the problems around you. That's very important. So in the district website, they have the meeting details. Then sometimes you get a chance to visit the local industries, local top industries, right? You can work as an intern or something, and you can meet trade in trade centers, lot of industry officials, right? The process and challenges are very important in operational. So that how it can be. And always remember, whenever you do any research, you need to ask at least 5 times why. So sometimes even for some research questions, the 5 is also not enough, then try to add more. So the specific problem, okay, that is very important. And try to use some real data, not much assumptions. Some research work I have seen lot of assumptions. Okay, then what are the variables? Then access the necessary data. Then at least you need to add something new to the existing knowledge. If you see this road condition in the left side, if you see the right side, the road is getting deteriorated, right? The thing is, you need to understand two things very clearly. What variable for poor road conditions? Two, like one is independent variables and other one is metric or measurements. So most important thing here, you can understand the small differences like traffic volume, traffic ratios, maintenance, right? Then other environmental factors. Okay, so for all things, most important thing is try to visit the local industries. And here you can see the difference between independent variable and dependent variable, right? The input and the final consequences. Problem and root cause for any problem is very important. How many of you use this 5 why technique? 5 why technique. So suddenly get an idea about the problem and the work to solve the problem within a specific time limit, fixing and working. But you need to ask why it happened. So the root cause, analyzing the root cause is very important. Go back, maybe any family issues, go next level. And any problem you'll have these options, like one is two subsections, and again another one two subsections. Similarly, other subsections. A simple example I'll just tell you. Local public bus is consistently late during morning hour. Okay. So I have asked a lot of why. Public bus is consistently late during morning rush hours. See, these are simple activity questions. So just you can make your answer in the chat. Second, I'll just open. It's good. I think the local public bus is consistently late during morning rush hour. So maybe due to rush on the roads like traffic and other issues. Yes, everybody goes to homes now in the same time due to traffic. Good. Others. Yes, road conditions, performance. Yes, same time work is a major issue. Mm. See, similarly for all your research problems, you need to ask at least 5 why you are doing this. Because to get this answer, even till your Viva was the examination, also sometimes examiner will ask. This is a simple activity related to that. Maybe later you can do by because this recording will be shared to you maybe today night or tomorrow morning. Now we just learned about the problems. The next is problem statement. It's a concise description of an issue to be addressed with context, relevance, and potential solutions. Right. Most important thing here is uh, the problem statement would clearly describe in different context, not only on a specific same similar thing. First thing, okay. Then remaining this problem statement content not only for maybe objective or certain things, it will be uh, clearly it will be mentioned. Mostly, if you see in articles, the last paragraph and certain places clearly this problem statement has to be mentioned. Two types normally this problem statement, the problem statement studies works like problem based and gap based studies. Always remember the good problem statement will give good results. Okay. And this is a sample problem statement. Three things are there. One is ideal, then reality, then purpose. The purpose is very important normally. Now, the ideal context, this is related to my study. I worked in a mechanical related discipline. I developed a device called magnetorheological dampers, and I will be using for other applications. Okay. So here, if you check the each and every the optimum locations, so certain parameters, okay, that can be, see, final outcome is obviously the problem should be whatever we are planning to work on a specific area, it should be less or reduced, right? The justification is very important as researchers. There are so many problems, but we were selecting the specific problem and we were working. How many of you explored this website called Smart India Hackathon? How many of you explored this website? How many of you explored this website? Smart India Hackathon. Actually, many institutes, student will be uh, competing in this Smart India Hackathon. Many institutes. There are so many problem statement every year. Not only this organization, similarly in India, many companies they provide the problem statement in public, which mean the problem is what you know. Many times we do research, but no company want that. Okay, here if you see the problem statement is smart community health monitoring and yearly warning system for waterborne disease in rural northeast India. Now, so a specific ministry has made this call. You see this problem statement, the initial background, the basic introduction about this study, because it's a northeast prone areas. You will find, I think, winter some. Yeah, I think northeast monsoon. Yeah, monsoon season they will have a lot of disease, waterborne disease like diarrhea, cholera, typhoid, right? And many rural, like mostly the tribal belts. Now, because of contaminated water, poor sanitation, delay medical response, and all, obviously people are getting affected. Now, the solution should be a mobile application that should work with lot of prediction based engine in the mobile applications and low cost water quality sensors along with the uh, kit so that the water quality can be checked frequently. Any issues were there, an alert system for health authorities and local leaders. Then educational modules for certain things, because if people from tribal and other things they need some certain modules. Then some offline support for tribal language people. So these are all the expected solution. Okay, background, expected solution, then the clear problem statement. Now here, first initially need to collect the health data of those local people, maybe from clinic or various source. Then use AI or ML machine learning models to predict. For example, every 5 years or 10 years, you get the details of clinic at which time to which time people are coming and what is the problem they are facing. If you have the data, you can do the prediction study easily. Now integrate the water testing kit. Okay, through sensors, basic studies you can able to check, and the real time alerts. So whoever is going to join in that hackathon, they must develop all those things. Multilingual mobile interface, offer dashboards. So all these things should be incorporated. Similarly, various government organization. This IDX is a part of, I think, defense organization system. So they made a lot of call for. They have a separate problem statement. See, artificial intelligence for human resource management. In future, no HR may be exploring our CV. There is a separate AI agent or AI team. They'll be exploring the CV. A lot of advancement is happening. If you see, this is inside. I think, yeah, this is a different one. And just in 5 days, the entire construction is completed. You can see some of the Nobel laureates here, right? They are some of the top researchers. But one thing is common for all these researchers, which is they choose the most important problem that needs to be solved as early as possible by the like the societal or the local. Uh, Drew Weissman, like COVID-19 vaccines. Then Alexander Fleming, again, save hundreds of millions of lives from the bacterial infections. Then Albert Einstein in the physics, because it is the foundations for quantum mechanics and modern electronics, whatever we are seeing now. Then other things like Marie Curie in discipline like physics, right? So you can see all these. They solve some of the most important problems. The Marie Curie one opened the door to nuclear medicine, cancer therapy, and atomic science. Right. So still there are many researchers, right, solve the most problems. In India, there are like youngest billionaires in India solving the problems. Like Aravind Srinivas, maybe many could have known about the perplexity, and Ritesh Agarwal related to this prism. Then other tools like maybe grocery delivery or something else. Right. So ultimately, you need to know one thing very clearly. The problem you choose is very important. Many researchers, while choosing, they join as a JRF, they provide a topic, and they you stipend everything once. Everything will be go well, right? But the the real problem solvers, they should feel, and you have to like try to complete the task clearly. Okay. So this is a simple activity about. I have shown a sample problem statement, right? Similarly, you should click this QR and you have to just fill the form about the problem statements. So one thing is very important. Many researchers, you do a lot of research works. You do a lot of research work. But the main problem is we do a lot of research, but where there is no problem, we are doing that research. Right? I know one professor in Tamil Nadu. I think there's a place called Salem. So what she used to do is she take the project students with her to a construction site nearby, and she will ask the students to talk to the maybe the workers, engineers, and other officials, and try to uh, like ask them like what is the problem they are facing inside. So take those problems from such engineers and certain people, then try to solve it. Work. That's very important. Hope you all understood those things very clearly, right? And I know many institute in Chennai and many different cities. When you want to first join with the certain professors, they will ask you a mandatory like problem statements. Okay, so that statement is very important. As a researchers, try to find the problem in and around locals, maybe through internships, site visits, whatever it may be. Try to collaborate good with certain industries nearby, Okay, that's very important as a researchers. So I'm from construction related. Recently, one company, I think YT Cement is a famous cement company in Malaysia. So I just talked to that HR and we had a discussion. Then she said she will help to connect with the R&D sections. Now, if they have a problem, so I can solve it. If I need certain money, I can get from them, right? So as a researcher, one thing is very important, which is fix the right problem statement. That's a very initial step. Okay, and write clearly. Many researchers they don't write. They don't write. You need to write the problem statement. So till now, whatever we have covered, you have any queries, please ask your queries in the chat box. Tomorrow we will have session related to research methodology, and next day we will have session related to how to find the journal is indexed in Scopus and above science. How will our solution reach the end user? It depends on the problem which you choose. See, before Ola, Uber, we don't have these uh, like always using mobile apps for multiple purpose. But obviously, it is also solving. It is also really it is solving a lot of. I know in cities like Chennai, at night dinner, many IT officials they don't have dinner, but these like Swiggy and certain agencies, at least they're having their dinner and going to bed. Okay, how the solution comes to they not approached me. So institute in Salem. So that faculty, whenever any research student choose them, should she take the students to the local construction companies and make the students to ask to the officials for getting. Now, for example, many companies they are telling about AI related designs for building. Lot of things are coming in. So 3D printing in through crane, they take the 3D printing and they build the entire uh, like wall structures. So a lot of advancements are coming in. Some days before, everybody said 3D concrete printing. Using concrete, they 3D print. Okay. So 3D printing is only for one story. More than that, it's not possible. But recently, one company, what they did is using the crane, maybe in sixth, seventh floor, top floors, they took the crane and they used 3D printing and tried to build it. So no labors required, just machines, just crane come up and this do the work. Obviously, getting laborers, workers is not an easy task. Even engineers in a certain discipline, it's not an easy task. And the problem statement sometimes, some research students, what they do is their supervisors will not give, nobody will not give, but some supervisor give the full freedom to the students. So you choose a topic or something else. So in that case, initially check the facilities available in your campus. You may be interested to solve the problem, but to solve the problem, you need a lot of facilities. Maybe institute will have, then it is okay. Other than that, you need to check, right? See, first time research, see, this topic is taken by you or by your supervisor, or how, so what made an impact as a researcher you to like learn some or give some additional knowledge to that area of researchers. And if you see some topics in India, you will not find enough researchers. But if you see in US and certain countries, you will find a lot of huge number of researchers working on those areas. See, you will have a lot of sessions. Slowly, I'll be going very slow only. Maybe if you are parallelly, you can work it. Nothing wrong in that. So one thing I request every participant is try to attend all the sessions, because some participants, what happen is, we know, right? Many are academicians. Everybody will have a thinking like, "Oh, these are all I know very well. I already do this. Everything is fine, but each and every day you will get a lot of new informations. Okay. As a researchers, we are all learners. Don't think I'm just speaking here and you are listening that I'm a you have to listen whatever I'm speaking. It's not like that. Okay, even I have seen in certain sessions, top lot of experts even attend similar training programs. So always remember one thing: choose the right problem. We have limited time. The research scholar, our lifetime is limited, 35 years, 40 years. Within that time, what you like to like, what problem you like to solve. That's very important. The problem which you solve, not for a very single similar group of people, for a huge. That's very important. And writing problem statement mostly, sometimes the supervisors will ask, just to make sure the the student have certain ideas, okay, about the topic and other things. Problem statement is a write up. If you see the hackathon, AICT website, lot of hackathon, they mention the problem statement with all the details specifically. To solve the problem, they write as a statement clearly why, when, how, limitations, everything in detail. If you see the northeastern region things, it's not easy to work those topics. But if someone cracked that, really they are helping uh, certain people from a certain regions, right? So your problem statement should be such a way. Every researcher's problem statement must try to solve some research things. I'm not an expert in psychology or other discipline. Impact of traditional Indian parenting styles, cultural myth, religious. So are involving many parameters. Good, but you can try. I'm not an expert in those research areas. My suggestion is related to this studying psychology stuff. You can find some research articles, similar source. Okay, try to collect some base papers which is closely related to similar to your research work, so that it will be very easy. Any other queries, professors? Choose the right problem. And if you are a PhD student, you know at least 3.5 years, 4 years. So I know I attended certain synopsis meeting. Some research scholars, they do lot of works, but finally the title will be not related to their work. So clearly you should convey the problem and how solved. See, initially you identify the problem, then to solve you need to start working. Don't identify the problem for a full PhD for 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. So AI tools and all, we will have sessions. We have a lot of sessions, step by step. Uh, tomorrow we'll be learning on important topic. like checking the journals, indexing like Scopus, Web of Science, and other source we'll be learning clearly, because now a lot of issues are happening for researchers. We hear a lot of, see, when you proceed your article to a top journals, you'll not have much issues. When you go for other journals like Scopus indexed or ECI indexed or only one indexed, sometimes you submit publish, finally it may not index. So a lot of things are there. So finding and accessing is very important. So I think if no more queries, we'll wrap up. We will meet tomorrow with some important topics, right? And if anybody want to check your journal, which you currently under communications, you like to know whether it is indexed or not. Maybe those journal name alone, you can keep it ready. So mostly it will be live sessions. Okay, I'll share my screen and explore how to find and all tomorrow. Thank you. I think how long it takes for Q1 publication depends on the journal, but open access means hardly some 6 months. Subscription based limited access means somewhere around 1 year, within a year. Presentation at the end of the meeting, we will provide you a Google Drive. There you will find a lot of presentations. Not all the presentations, lot of presentations, because some presentation are in the copyright process. Thank you all researchers. Thank you.